Right, hey there everyone. Welcome to a special episode of, well, welcome back to our channel. I guess you can call this a special episode of How To. And today I am going to run through with you guys on how to pick the best grinder for your needs. I'm going to be stepping into your shoes and I'm going to tell you what grinder I would pick based on, well, certain contexts, certain situations, based on what you guys are looking for. As you can see, I have our 64 ranges over here and our 83 as well, except for the Z models and the Gen 1. And I'm going to tell you each of these models are best suited for what kind of consumer, and this is to follow lightly. Just because you are that kind of consumer doesn't necessarily mean that you have to purchase that specific grinder that I'm recommending for you. However, this is what I would do if I was in your shoes. If you're a beginner and you're just entering the coffee world, you're an enthusiast, you love coffee so much, you want to learn more about it, you realize that, hey, actually I can do coffee on my own, I want to learn about beans and I want to learn how to grind them, I want to learn how to make my own coffee, whether it be filter or espresso, and you're on a tight budget, the 54 is perfect for you. The 54 is the smallest grinder among the range of grinders that we have over here. And the best thing about the 54 is that it fits your budget perfectly, and it is also very dependable, reliable, and gets the job done. For every beginner out here, I'm going to recommend getting the 54 because it's also going to teach you and mold into you the practices on using a grinder. For example, when you get a grinder, you're not just going to grind your beans and then leave it there and then come back the next day and then grind them again, or you're not going to just grind 100 grams of beans just to do your cold brew and then leave it at that. No, what you're going to need to do is learn how to do maintenance for your grinder, okay? With every equipment, with any kind of equipment out there, whether we're talking about grinders, whether we're talking about cameras, whether we're talking about computers, whatever machinery that you're working with, there's always that maintenance that you have to do, or there's always a certain form of hygiene that you have to practice to make sure that you're using your equipment well, that they're maintained well, and that they last you long, and that you're getting the perfect results from them as well. So for the 54, it trains you on that. When you do a single dose grind, bear in mind all these are meant to be single dose grinders. The recommended range is 20 grams and below. You can go above 20 grams, but all the more reason for you to practice your hygiene. 54 comes in very well in making sure that you guys do that. You'll definitely have to do your quick shoot swipe up after every 1 to 2 grinds. For me personally, I've been using the 54 non-stop because it's the easiest grinder to handle among the rest of the grinders. When I say handle, it just means carrying it around, putting it on the table, because I have to move around stuff for shoots. But yes, it's lighter than the rest of these models, so it's easier for me to handle, and I've always gotten my dosage right, in the sense that if I put in 18 grams, I'm definitely going to get out 18 grams. I'm not going to have a 0.1, 0.2 shortage. I've never had that with the 54 and also the 60 and also the CF64V, which I'll come to later. Of course, I practice my grinder hygiene, which is I do the quick shoot swipe. I make sure I bellow properly, and maybe after like 3 to 5 grinds, or if I haven't used the grinder in a month, I'll do an extensive shoot cleaning that we have a video on, so do check that out. Yeah, I continue using it. I've never had a jam so far with a 54, as long as you do your maintenance. Now, this applies to all the grinders out there as well, because if you practice that, you're going to keep your equipment in good shape, the discipline really. So yeah, the 54 is the best for beginners out there, so get that, especially with it being budget friendly, starting at a price of 230 USD on our website. Like I said, if you're just getting into it, start off with this. It's budget friendly and you don't have to invest too much into it to just kickstart. So just in case, hey, making your own coffee is not for you, you just want to settle with going out to the cafes and getting your coffee, then sure, well, at least you've dipped your toes into the water for a little bit with the 54. That's the one for you. Now we move on to the next one, which is the Gen 2. Now the Gen 2 is our poster boy, and that's the face of DF64. It is the first among the range of our 64mm burr grinders around here. We're excluding the Gen 1, of course. This I would recommend for users who are a little bit more seasoned when it comes to making their own coffee, being a home barista. And for those that have started off with the 54 and are looking to upgrade your equipment, that's the next best step, to go into the 64, because that's where you have access to modifying your grinders as well. What I mean by modifying is upgrading your burrs to different kinds of burrs, mainly the SSB burst. So the SSB burst for our shop starts from the range of 64mm. It's a lot faster than the 54. Yeah, and if you're looking to tweak around, maybe focus more on filter coffee, then you can get our lab sweet burst that we have over here. Or if you want to focus more on espresso, you get the HU burst. If you want a better performing burr that produces both, get the multi-purpose burst. And then after that, you learn more about the maintenance as well, about swapping out the burrs. Not to mention, with the 64 Gen 2, it comes in two colorways, black and white. And as you can see here, we have our very special luscious red limited edition color that's only available for the month of February to celebrate Valentine's. So that is available here. It starts from $3.99. The color, the limited edition color, is going for $4.99, so you can start off with that. These are for, I would say, you don't have to be a veteran, you don't have to be a professional. These are for seasoned home baristas that are looking to make an upgrade. This is also budget friendly. Like I said, a lot of the grinders that we have here are of industry standard, and you don't have to break your bank purchasing them as well. So yeah, that's the 64 Gen 2 for you. Now we move on to the alternate versions of it. What we have over here is the 64E. Another version would be the 64P. Now as you can see below, there's a very limited grind range. Yes, you're using that very nice handle that comes with it, and of course the pretty aesthetically pleasing wood finishing collar and lid and bellow lid as well. Of course, you get that with the rest of the grinders. So it comes with an electronic display that allows you to do timed dosed grinding. Now the 64E comes with the 225 gram hopper, as you can see right here, with that wood finishing. Now as you can see, the grind set scale travels all the way to 55. Now the 64P comes with the 50 gram mini hopper, as you can see right here. This is recommended for users that are going for espresso because of the grind size that you can use with it. So it's limited in terms of the range of that. However, it does come with the electronic display for you to do time dosing. The electronic display helps with time dosing, and with time dosing, the probabilities of chokes go down by a lot. And maintenance wise, it's also the same as the 64 Gen 2. Yeah, I recommend it for those that are looking to grind more espresso. I wouldn't recommend it for those that want to do filter. Next, we move on to the 64V. Now these are for consumers that can spend a little bit more and would like to have more features such as variable RPM. That means that you can increase your speed. You're no longer stuck with the fixed RPM of 1400. Yes, so the 64mm come with a 1400 RPM, but for this it ranges from 800 all the way up to 1800. So you can go faster or slower depending on what you want to do. So if you want to do filter, you go slower. You want to do espresso, ramp it up all the way to 1800. It comes in three colorways: silver, gray, and black. The 64V starts from the price range of $499, the same price as the luscious red 64 Gen 2. Yeah, pretty affordable for a grinder that comes with a variable RPM. Next up, we move on to one of our newer models, which is the CF64V. Now, when it comes to the CF64V as compared to the DF64V, there's not much of a difference except for its build. This is a horizontal grinder, the second right after the 83V. It has an on and off switch, just like the DF83V. Yeah, the augmenter is known to assist in uniformity when it comes to grinding your beans. However, the performance wise is not that different from the DF64V, and from what I can tell you, grind retention wise is non-existent for me. I give an allowance of 0.1 to 0.2 grams when it comes to grind retention. So when you put in 18 grams, you're probably going to get out 17.9, 17.8. But when it comes to the CF64V, just like the 54, based on my personal experience working with these grinders, I've not had any issues of grind retention. In fact, the knocker that it comes with also helps you in terms of eliminating grind retention along with the bellow. So all the more reason for you to get the CF64V. And I would recommend this for users around the same as the 64V as well. If you prefer a horizontal grinder, you can get that. It fits nicely. This is a lot more compact as compared to this. However, it's also a lot more easier to handle. And if that's not enough, I can tell you that it's going at $489. But the only thing is that it comes in one colorway for now, which is this black over here. For those that are looking for more premium 64mm burr grinder, you can opt to choose these two. Next up, we're looking at the 83 series. For the DF83, bigger burr, faster grinds, you can check out one of our videos where I've picked the Gen 2 versus the 83, and this came out a lot faster as compared to the Gen 2. I think the Gen 2 came out at 20 seconds if I'm not wrong, and this one was around 10 seconds and below. So for those that are willing to spend a little bit more than your premium grinders over here, this is going at $580. It also comes in two colorways, the black and white. So these are for consumers who have a lot more in their budget. However, it's also suitable for those that are planning to do a small startup cafe. So it's not just for home consumers, but also for commercial as well. One of the most affordable grinders that you can get for that. It comes with the 225-gram bean hopper, allows you to grind as many beans as you would need for the day for shop usage. So this is perfect, especially if you're planning to be a proper barista, you're starting up shop. This would be quite affordable into your budget, especially with all the other logistics that you have to take into account. So that's the DF83. Now we go on to more premium model, the DF83V. Also the same as the DF83 when it comes to usage purposes for people with a lot more into their budget. So just like the DF83, this is perfect for home consumers and also for small cafes as well. And this one comes with a variable speed, which ranges from a 300 RPM all the way up to 1600 RPM. Has an on and off switch just like the CF64V, and comes in two colorways, silver and black. Now this is also ideal for users, like I said before, that they want to start up a shop because of the 83mm sized burrs. With both these grinders, you also have access to the 83mm SSP burrs, and we also provide the service of installing them for you as well. But do note that when we're installing the burrs for you, you are not getting the stock burrs. If you want the stock burrs, you have to purchase the grinder and the SSP burrs separately. Yes, we'll send them both together, but yeah, that's the only way you'll get your stock burrs, starting at $769. For our premium range, it's actually pretty affordable, especially for commercial usage. So yes, these two are great, especially if you're a barista starting out their own cafe. It doesn't break your bank or your budget for the cafe. Reliable for commercial usage. These are for consumers that can spend a little bit more for their personal usage as well. Comes with a variable speed. That's what you're paying money for. This one for consumer usage, this one specifically for espresso use only. These are for people that are a little bit more seasoned in the game and want to upgrade from the smaller grinders that they have, which is the 54, or if you're using a hand crank grinder, then and you have the budget to spend, get the Gen 2. So yeah, these are our range of grinders and what I would do as a consumer, like my purchasing decision based on the different types of consumers who are looking to buy a DF64 grinder. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let us know in the comment section down below. Actually, you know what, before I end this video off, let me see if I can. Comes with this hopper, the 225-gram hopper, but this does not fit onto the 83V, so do bear in mind. However, if you want, you can do this. I don't recommend it. You're able to fit the beans through here. It definitely can handle the load. However, yeah, I just don't recommend using the hopper with the bellow like this. It's something that I advise against, but generally it's up to you at the end of the day. You're paying for the grinder, you get to do what you want with it. But like I said before, when it comes to purchasing your grinder, you also need to know what's the maintenance for these grinders, how to use them, be responsible with the products that you purchase so that you can get the best out of them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so there you have it. Let us know what you thought about this video in the comment section down below and what you want to see next. Do let me know if you want me to go a little bit more in depth into each of these grinders. We do have an unboxing videos for almost all of these grinders. However, if you want to know more about these grinders in terms of like what's the best grinder for you, just drop me an email at tech@df64coffee.com and I'll be sure to reply you and give you some advice on what grinder suits your needs. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Until next time, I'll see you all around.